And in those days, the music was given unto them, and the music was good, and there was much rejoicing. But soon to follow came the great scourges. First, the record label. Second, the record producer. And third, the worst scourge of all, the false pop idol. Well, hey there guys, welcome to Rock Hard Riffs. This is the guitar channel for the self-taught. It must be Flashback Friday. Give me some of that. Woohoo! Man, these things come around too fast. Now, as we were talking about in the introduction there, we're going to talk about false pop idols. Now, I didn't start with Britney Spears or the Backstreet Boys or New Kids on the Block or even Justin Bieber. No, it was actually Fabian. A gentleman by the name of Fabiano Anthony Forte was spotted in the streets of Philadelphia, and that is the rest of the story as far as this video goes. Fabian, or Fabiano, had absolutely no talent that he was aware of. He was just a little bit down on his luck. His father had recently had a heart attack. He needed money. A couple guys approached him on the street and asked him if he wanted to become a pop star or a singer. And away they went. Now, these two fellows that asked him this decided amongst themselves, they kind of placed a bet whether they could pretty much pick almost anybody off the street and make them a sensation, because what they were doing inside the studio in those days. So now today, of course, we hear all about the stuff that goes on in the studios with the pitch perfect and all that sort of thing. Well, they thought they could do it then, and actually they did. They created Fabian. Again, Fabiano Anthony Forte. He was born in February in 1943. He was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He is still around. The old boy's still kicking it, doing really well. The story goes, in 1957, two men by the name of Bob Marcucci and Peter DeAngelis, owners of Chancellor Records, at the time decided they'd go out and look around and see if they could find somebody that they looked good enough that they could turn into a pop star, whether they could sing or had any talent or not. They saw Fabian, they grabbed him. He was reluctant, but he did it because he needed the money. The family needed the money because his father had just had a heart attack. So this kind of one of those destiny type of things, I suppose you could say. Sure enough, they introduced Fabian to Dick Clark, who was doing the record hop kind of shows back then. They asked him to put Fabian on their show. They did. He lip-synced, and all the girls went crazy. They loved him. You know, they gave him the bobbed hair in the photos, as you see, and all that. And he's a star. Now, what Dick Clark famously said at the time is, you've got a hit, he's a star. Now all you have to do is teach him to sing. Sounds kind of familiar, doesn't it, guys? Now, they eventually put him on the bandstand, and he admitted later that the songs were not very good, but he was scared to death because Marcucci, one of the gentlemen that discovered him, would beat him if he did not perform as he wanted. Because he was just a young guy. He was like 15 years old. He was a fish out of water completely. So, you know, that just is just, you hear the story over and over again. It's like they're prostituting people, and that's really exactly what it is, for their own gains. If you younger guys are looking to get a recording contract or any kind of thing like that, talk to a lawyer. And talk to a lawyer that is not involved in any way, shape, or form with the record industry, but understands copyrights and all the rest. How many times have we heard about child stars being created and destroyed? But not just child stars, also adults. Look at Milli Vanilli. That was an extremely sad story that happened at the end of that. So there are lessons to be learned in all of this. And again, the pop idol is not necessarily all it's cracked up to be if you're the idol. And it certainly is fake news to those who can tell the difference. Alright guys, this is Rock Hard Riffs. This has been another Flashback Friday. We hope you enjoyed it. Please let us know in the comments. It's really important. Leave us a comment, guys. Alright, we'll see you next video.